Hello, I'm getting ready to paint tonight, which I'm really excited about because it's been a crazy couple weeks and I've been wanting to paint for this mosaic show that's coming up. But it seems like every time I get time, something comes up or I'm just too exhausted and I know that it'd be better to paint after some sleep. And then I don't get time after that. So tonight's the night, and hopefully tomorrow night I'll be able to finish this up. As usual, I set up an elaborate still life and there's just too much stuff in it, so I've got to start taking stuff out, which is kind of sad because I like all the things. But yesterday I was working and just thinking through some things that I was wanting to share with one of my, I don't know if I would call them students, but one of the artists that I'm mentoring right now. And that is when you're starting a still life or any kind of painting, when you sit down with this blank canvas, you've got to start with the end in mind. As I'm setting up my things and I'm putting them on the table and I've got the fabric there, I am envisioning that part being painted. I'm envisioning how I'll handle each part. Will I be kind of sketchy with it? Will it be really thick brush strokes? Will it be really tight, detailed brush strokes? Or is it going to be kind of left, not all the details there? I am envisioning it as I go, and I can just feel each thing being painted and the feeling that I want with each object. When I step back and I see the piece as a whole, I am envisioning it painted. I know where I want to leave the board showing. I know where my tightest spot is going to be. I know the highlight that I want there. And I also know things, for instance, the cotton and the silver dollar eucalyptus, those things are going to be hinted at. They're just going to kind of be in the background. Here they're very, there's a lot of darks and lights in there. I'm not going to paint it that way. I'm going to hint at it. So as I'm setting up, as I'm looking, before I even pick up a brush, I literally haven't picked up a brush yet. I don't even have my easel set up yet. I've got the painting painted in my head already. I know where things want to be, where things are going to be. I know where I'm going to drop off on the detail of this fabric, all kinds of things like that. So paint with the end in mind. Where do you want to land on this painting? What places do you want to leave unfinished a little bit? Where do you want to pull back? You don't know you've gone too far till you've gotten too far. You almost don't know where that line is. And that does come with practice. And along with that, I also want to say expect, as you're doing this, to not meet your goal. Expect it. Expect what we would call failure. Because for years and years and years and years, I envision it and I know where I want to land on this painting, and I usually get to the end thinking, wow, that wasn't really what I had in mind, but okay. So expect that. I think that's part of the journey. I think that's part of doing this whole process, start to finish. You don't always end up where you mean to end up, but that's part of the process. It's like you have to go through that to eventually, years down the road, finally start landing with the look of the painting that you want, where you had intended. And now, finally, many years later, I think I've been painting for 15 or so years. I forget. I'm not going to count. I don't want to know how old I am. After all this time, I am landing closer than I ever have been. And I think that just comes from aiming and missing and making adjustments and aiming again and missing and aiming again and missing. So don't ever think that I don't feel like I fail. I pretty much I'm disappointed in certain aspects of every painting that I do, but that's part of it. It's like that's, for me anyway. Maybe there are other artists out there who don't experience that, but I experience that all the time. There's a part like, oh, yes, that's what I intended to do there, but over here, not what I intended. And so then we analyze. So then later, the next time, well, that didn't work out so well. I think I pushed that too far. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to my proportions. I got lazy. So take all that information. You are going to learn way more from missing the mark than you ever will when you just oh, that kind of happened nicely. If it just it turned out nicely without you realizing why or how. So I just want to encourage you, start with the end in mind, but expect that you're not going to, well, okay, I don't want you to expect to fail, but I don't want you to see that as failure. You may not hit it, but it's okay. There's self-examination that can be done. There's learning, there's adjustments. And next time you'll get a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer. So I just want to encourage you with that today. And I'm going to be painting on this tonight and tomorrow night. And I can show you my progress for the next live stream. Have a good night. Bye.